What if I told you that you were entitled to thousands of euros and you missed out on them simply because you just didn't know something very simple? This is actually very common when traveling. You might have had a delayed flight or delayed luggage, and I'm sure it would make you feel a lot better if you at least got some money for it. This is why it's important to always know your rights. So what we're going to cover today is very basic knowledge, generally speaking, but a lot of people just don't know about it or don't think about it, or they think it's going to be like a really complicated process and that they're going to have to like get a lawyer or something like that. But it's really not like that. It's actually extremely simple. Sometimes it could just be as simple as filling out a form or contacting customer service. So one of the most common things that people go through when traveling are flight delays. So in the UK and the EU, if your flight is delayed by 3 hours, generally you'll be entitled to around 600 euros compensation, just like that. It could often be more than how much you actually paid for the flight. So of course it depends on the flight distance, and it is important for the flight to be over 3 hours to the T. Like if your flight was delayed by 2 hours and 50 minutes, usually it wouldn't qualify for this. And you might notice sometimes that when a flight is delayed, they try to at least get it not more than 3 hours late, because they know that they can get away with having to pay that compensation. If your flight is generally like 4 or more hours and it's delayed by 3 hours, you get this 600 euros compensation. And if your flight was delayed like overnight or by several 10, 12, 20 hours, you would be entitled to like a hotel, a replacement flight, and everything free of cost, as well as like dinner, lunch, everything like that, transport. This generally applies if the flight is departing from the UK or Europe, or it's by a UK or European airline, or even sometimes if it's just an airline within like a association like IATA or something like that. In this video, I'm not going to be telling you like the exact details of everything, but I'm making you aware of the kind of things you could be entitled to, and all it takes is a little Google search or something, because I can't go through like every single possible situation. That what if I'm taking off from here, what if this is my airline, what if whatever. So you can just look this up, and there's some websites, I'll try to link some down below, where you could see and figure out if you're entitled to this or not. And then there's baggage delays. So sometimes your baggage might be delayed by like 1 day or something like that, especially if your flight was transiting somewhere. So some airlines might just give you like $50 per day, like to buy like clothes or something small, like just to keep you going. But generally, especially European airlines, you're entitled to expenses of up to around 1,500 euros. So even if your baggage is delayed by like 1 day, this is delayed, not destroyed or something like that, or lost. Like if it's just delayed by like 1 day, for that 1 day you could spend up to 1,500 euros on essentials, and they will ask for like receipts or something. So they might not accept it if you bought like a TV or something like that, but if you bought like some clothes, underwear, toiletries, chargers, cables, whatever, things like that are reasonable essential things, up to 1,500 euros they'll cover it. So obviously you would have to spend that money first and then send them the receipts. From my experience, generally they respond fairly quickly. They did say to me that this is gonna take like 6 months or 6 weeks or something like that to pay me back the expenses. But I replied with an angry email that this is unacceptable and I'm not waiting 6 weeks and blah, blah, and they sent it within like a couple of days or something. And that was an international bank transfer from like Germany to my British account or something like that. As for delays with US flights, generally as far as I know, they don't give cash compensation. But if they like kick you off the flight, like if they change your flight or something without you wanting to, you could be entitled to around 400% of your flight cost. up to a maximum of $1,500 approximately, and they would give you like meal vouchers and hotels and transport and stuff like that. And in general, make sure you keep receipts of Ubers or food or anything or things you bought, because you never know, like anything you can, keep it. One important thing is that if you experience any issue like a flight delay or luggage delay or something, make sure you report it as soon as possible, especially baggage damage. Like if you receive your bag at the baggage claim and it's like broken or cracked or damaged or ripped or something like that, especially the damage, you need to report it like while you're still at the airport, like before you leave. You report it immediately. You can go like right up to the office or something like that that's over there and you report it. As for delayed baggage or delayed flight or whatever, usually you have a few days or a couple of weeks or something to report it, but it's best in general to report it as soon as possible so that any compensation you're entitled to get, you can get it as soon as possible. And so that the thing is still fresh and they deal with it quickly and they don't say that, oh, we don't know about this and by then your luggage has arrived or something like that. What if you booked through like a travel agent or like a package holiday and your hotel turned out to be not as you expected, or the room is like different to what you booked, or they told you this is not available, or they moved you to like another hotel or something like that without you agreeing to it? So usually you'd be entitled to a full or partial refund along with like a replacement hotel and any costs related to that, like any transport or even maybe another accommodation or food or something, like just anything that you have to do because of that, like keep receipts and everything, because you never know what you could claim. You could be entitled to more things if you have a good credit card like a Amex Platinum or a Chase Sapphire. So this depends on obviously your credit card, and some credit cards offer like travel insurance, rental insurance, health insurance, insurance for like lost baggage. They give you like a couple $100s or something per day or something if you lost something. They might like cover your replacement flight costs and stuff like that. Also, if your flight, for example, if your airline, for example, tells you that we're canceling this flight or something like that, we'll give you a cash refund, and you still need to make that trip, it's usually better to tell them that you don't want the cash refund and you want them to replace your flight with another one, because sometimes you might have booked something way in advance and they cancel the flight and they give you back your cash, which you paid like, let's say, a lower cost for the flight, and then when you try to book a replacement flight, it's like much more expensive. So if you tell them to arrange a replacement flight, they by law, as far as I know, have to get you a replacement flight regardless of the cost. So and if they try to give you like a flight that's really long and has like 2 days transit and something like that, you could tell them like, this is unacceptable, I need this, and they will usually figure out whatever and give you any kind of flight they can find, and even if it's like triple the cost of the one you booked, they'll give it to you and you'll still go to your destination hopefully in time. And the credit cards could even cover like trip cancellations and refunds, like even if, so you don't have to necessarily deal with your airline, maybe the credit card company will do it for you, or they will just give you your refund or something like that. Nothing in this video is financial advice and it's for entertainment purposes only, and I'm just saying that this isn't an excuse to get a credit card if you don't feel like you're financially responsible. Like, you shouldn't get a credit card if you're not financially responsible, even if it has benefits like refunds on flights or whatever. If you're gonna, for the sake of these benefits, end up going down like a credit card debt rabbit hole, then it's not worth it. So in general, good practice to make sure you're protected is, if you can book with a credit card instead of a debit card, do that. Try to book with airlines that are like well known, from big like alliances and a good reputation for customer support. Like the top airlines usually are much more responsive. Some other airlines, even though they might by law have to give you back a compensation, they might take like months to do it. They might do it very slowly. They might argue with you. They might say, oh no, prove this and prove that. While good airlines, usually you just tell them, hey, you did this delay, I had to suffer this and I had to pay this. They'll just say, here you go, thank you very much, we hope we didn't trouble you too much. You could even mention, like, if you were flying for a special event like a wedding or a birthday or something like that, you could mention that as well just to like maybe pressure them a little more to get you a good flight in time, or refund you, or be extra kind to you, or whatever. You could even sometimes use third-party services that are like sort of law firm sort of things that help you claim compensation, but they usually will take like a percentage of the fee, and it's usually not for much work. Like you could easily just go to the customer service and deal with it. Sometimes if the customer service isn't responsive, you could even go to like the authority above them, like the something that manages them, a managing body, and complain to them that one of their airlines is not following the rules or something like that, and usually that can help you out as well. So that's all for this video. It was a quick video, and if you ever had any bad experiences with airlines, like let us know what airline or what happened, how did you deal with it, did you get compensated, were there times that you could have got compensated but you didn't because you didn't know your rights? Let us know down below. I would love to hear your stories. And that's all for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share with your friends so that everyone can benefit, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.